number 1. For how long have you been a CRNA and where do you work?
I've been a CRNA for 18 years and I work at Detroit Receiving Hospital downtown.
Alright. How did you know this career was for you, or what made you become a CRNA?
Well, when I was a nurse in the ICU, I had a friend who was going to anesthesia school, and I never really thought about it until she told me she was going. So I researched the career, and then I shadowed with her and shadowed in a couple different hospitals and found it interesting, so I chose the path of a CRNA.
Okay. Where did you attend school and what was your education pathway?
I went to Wayne State University. I went to their nursing school, the Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. That was the path I took. Then I worked for a year in an intensive care unit because you need that experience in order to get into anesthesia school. Then I applied to anesthesia school, and that was another 2 years, so it was a total of 7 years. But the future of the anesthesia program is they're looking into making it a doctorate program, a PhD program, not a master's program.
Wow.
Yeah.
More specifically, how long did it take you to complete the schooling process overall?
Well, probably 7 years, total years, yeah.
Was there any delay of you waiting to get into school, like a nursing school or the anesthesia school?
No, but I know now that it's pretty challenging to get into even just a nursing program. I know there's a wait list.
Right.
I think it's pretty popular. But at the time, I did not have a delay. I applied to nursing school. I got in.
Okay.
Took me 5 years, and then another 2 years for the master's program.
Okay. What was the hardest part about becoming a CRNA, or the schooling involved?
Well, the schooling involved is pretty intense. There's no time for a lot of extracurricular activities. There's no time to hold down a job, so it's good to have a good support system. Just the school itself, because there's long clinical days, plus all your schooling days, and there's a lot of studying and writing papers, so it's a pretty intense program. So probably just the whole program itself is intense, but it was worth it.
Okay. What is a typical day like for a CRNA?
Okay, well typically when I go to work in the morning, I go to work and we have a board. And on that board is listed all the operating rooms and all the surgeries. So my name will be assigned to a room. So I will see what room I'm in. I'll go to my room. I will check my anesthesia machine. I'll set up my anesthesia table, make sure all my equipment's good. Nothing's wrong with it. I'll draw up what drugs I think I need for that case, for that patient. Then I go to the preoperative holding area and I interview my patient. Start an IV if I need to. Do whatever necessary preparation for the patient's surgery, depending on how big the surgery is. And then once the patient's ready, we proceed to the operating room. However long the operation takes, we monitor the patient closely, all their vital signs, and when surgery's done, we wake the patients up, and then we proceed to the recovery room, and then the recovery room nurse takes over there, and then we go on to do the next case, and the process continues. Yeah.
How many cases would you say you have in a typical day?
Well, I could have one long case. I could have an 8-hour case.
Okay.
One time I went into work and my case lasted from 7:30 until past 3:30 where I was relieved. So it could be a long major case, or I could have, for example, yesterday I was at work, I did 5 cases.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Right,
that was
so-
over a 12-hour shift. So it just depends what room you're assigned to.
Okay. Are your shifts always 12 hours long? Or
8 hours, there's
Yeah.
12 hours. Some of my coworkers work 16 hours, and some of my coworkers work 24 hours.
Okay. What are the biggest challenges or stressors of your career?
I would say the biggest stressors are the actual patients themselves. Downtown, the patients are, I think, sicker than, say, patients like in suburban hospitals. So the stressors are taking care of such sick patients and having to provide a safe anesthetic for someone who's so sick. Yeah.
What do you enjoy most about your career?
What I do enjoy most is helping people during this stressful time. Hopefully people don't have to have surgery more than once or twice in their life, but it's stressful. So I enjoy being able to take their pain away and putting them at ease, that I'll be there watching them, monitoring them during their surgery. So just interacting with the patients.
Okay. How difficult is it to get a job after school, do you think?
It just depends. The market changes. For example, last year, a lot of our graduates A couple of them had to move out of state. They did all find jobs. I do think that I think everybody will find a job. It just depends if the market is saturated that year, but everybody does end up finding a job.
Okay.
So.
What type of personality makes a good nurse anesthetist?
Well, I think you have to be a people person because you definitely have to be able to interact with patients. You have to interact with operating room nurses, the scrub techs, the surgeons. So you have to be a patient person and you have to be a people person and willing to work with others. You can't be so strong-headed like it's your way or the highway because you have to work with a whole team of people to take care of a patient.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the base salary of this job?
The base salary, it's a 6-figure salary, so I think coming out of school, it's over 100,000. I don't know what it is exactly today because I've been doing it for 18 years, but it has gone up.
Okay.
So the base salary is, I believe, over 100,000, a little over 100,000.
Okay. Roughly, what is the percentage of male and female CRNAs?
Well, right now there's more female CRNAs than male CRNAs, but it's becoming pretty popular amongst male nurses to go into anesthesia school. So the number of male CRNAs is increasing.
It's increasing, okay. If you could do it all over again, would you still choose to be a CRNA? Why or why not?
Yes, I would, because I like my job, even though there's some days I leave and it's been very stressful, and I think I wouldn't want to do it again. But overall, I would choose to do it again because it's good hours, flexible hours. Yeah, because you could do 8, 12, 16-hour shifts. You could work weekends. A lot of people that have small children work weekends. They can have days off during the week so they can help their children go to school, come back from school. So.
Would you recommend someone like myself to continue on to become an anesthesiologist, or did you ever consider going to become an anesthesiologist?
I didn't because I never really wanted to be a physician. So if you are interested in becoming a doctor, then I would say yes to go on. It's a different path. You have to go to medical school, do a residency, become a doctor, and then do an anesthesia residency.
Okay.
I never chose to, I just never wanted to be a doctor.
Okay. What do you dislike most about your job, would you say?
Sometimes it's the long hours, even though it could be advantageous, but if it's busy that whole time you're there, then you're pretty tired. And sometimes it's just the stress of what kind of cases you have for the day and how sick the patients are. That's probably what I would dislike the most.
Okay. And lastly, what is something most people do not know about being a CRNA?
I think that most people don't know. I think when people, patients come in and the general public, I think they always think of the anesthesiologist as being in the room the whole time. And in some situations that is the case.
Okay.
But for the most part, the anesthesiologist starts a case with you, is available if you need them. But during the case, it's the CRNA that sits there with the patient the whole time and watches them the whole time.
Okay. Anything else to add, or are you all set?
I don't think so. I'm all set.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.